What is an extremely dark, creepy true story that most people don't know about? Bela Kiss was a Hungarian serial killer in the early years of the 20th century. He murdered multiple women, at least 23, and pickled their bodies in barrels. His crimes were discovered while he was serving in the Austro-Hungarian army during World War I. He was nearly caught by the authorities, but he fled a military hospital, leaving a dead body in his bed, and disappeared without a trace. Professional wrestler Bruiser Brody was stabbed to death in a shower backstage by another wrestler. The man who committed the murder was acquitted, partly because key witnesses didn't receive their court summons until after the trial ended. What is the strangest unsolved mystery? The 169th victim of the Oklahoma City bombing. They found an additional leg in the rubble. DNA tests showed it belonged to another victim who had already been buried but with the wrong leg. The wrong leg had already been embalmed, so they could not get DNA at the time. So who did this leg belong to? All other legs had been accounted for in other victims. They found no other body parts, and nobody else had been reported missing. It was only until 2015 they could get DNA from the leg, but it's still classified as a John Doe. A few conspiracy theories had pop up, like maybe a second bomber that got caught in the blast, but it's still unknown. That guy who ran away from the airport hopped the fence and was never seen again. Who was Kaspar Hauser, a feral child found in 1820s Germany, who dies a violent death after revealing that he had spent his youth in a darkened cellar? What's your favorite Pokemon? I've always had a soft spot for Eevee, and the evolutions. My favorite Rapidash. It, cute, lovely, smart, plus, amazing. You think so? Oh yes. It, stunning, kindly, love it, hug it, when sleeping, warm and cuddly, spectacular, ravishing. Oops, look at the time. I kept you too long. Thanks for hearing me out. Arcanine, because they are big fire puppies. Scyther. I know nothing about Pokemon, but I think Rayquaza looks cool. Snorlax. I will occasionally lay down in the hallway and pretend to sleep. This makes my daughters run around and try to find their pokeflute to wake me up. Abra. It's cute, lazy, and has magic powers. What's a stance you have no empathy or understanding for? I can't deal with people who are smug about not understanding something. Saying you're blunt but you're actually just openly being an asshole. A server that we all hated once said, "They don't want to deal with a bad bitch like me." A fellow cook shouted through the window, "No, you're just a bitch. Stop making excuses." When someone staunchly refuses to believe something even after you've provided them with copious amounts of evidence from numerous credible sources to prove what you've just told them. I think my suffering is worse than your suffering, so your suffering doesn't matter. Social media influencers who exploit the fuck out of their kids. What is the grossest thing you've ever done? I sucked a dead guy's dick. Well, he may have been alive for the first part. He OD'd while I was sucking him off and was a good 3 minutes before I realized. I just thought he was really fucked up, not dead. Piece by piece, I pulled out the rotting corpse of a calf that had died near the end of a cow's pregnancy. It had been rotting inside her. I knew something was off right away, but things went from bad to worse when I put chains on the 2 front legs to pull and both legs detached from the corpse and I fell on my ass with the legs landing on me. Next step was sticking my arm up there and pulling the pieces out. And the smell was the worst smell I've ever experienced. And being on a farm, you smell some bad stuff. But nothing approaches this.